Stop scrolling. Before this year even began, heaven approved something with your name on it. My child, my beloved, at the very start of this year, before the clocks even struck midnight and the calendar turned, something in heaven was moved in your favor. A miracle, not small, not ordinary, but one destined to alter the direction of your life, was marked with your name. God approved it. Archangel Michael has been instructed to protect it. And now at this precise moment, I am being allowed to tell you, do not miss it. You are not seeing this by accident. This message was sealed with urgency, reserved for the chosen. And you, yes, you were chosen to hear it before it disappears into silence. Before I say more, I must pause to beg you for something precious. Just 1 second of your heart's attention. If these divine messages have touched you before, if your soul ever felt a strange peace, a mysterious warmth, or the sudden realization that heaven might be trying to reach you, then subscribe now. It's not just a button. It's a small physical act of spiritual agreement. It tells heaven, I'm ready. I won't miss what you're sending. I'm awake now. Because what I'm about to reveal, no other eyes were supposed to see before you. You see, beloved, there are moments in time that do not feel like moments at all. They feel like interruptions, like accidents, like mere coincidences. But in truth, they are divine appointments dressed in silence. And January 1st was not just the start of a new year. It was the opening of a spiritual vault. Inside that vault was something meant for you alone. Restoration of something you lost. The answer to a question you've buried in your pillow. The reversal of what was done against you. The reward for what you did quietly when no one clapped for you. And heaven is now whispering. The time has come. My child, my beloved, you have no idea how close you are to something heaven has waited years to release. From the first second of this year, a shift began, silent but certain. It did not come with noise or celebration, but with a divine seal carrying your name signed by God's own hand. It was not a coincidence that your soul was drawn here. It's not a coincidence that you're still reading. Something you prayed for perhaps long ago has reached its appointed time. And I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to tell you, do not miss this. There are messages heaven allows only in the most precise moment. This is one of them. This is not just a prophecy. It is a moment of alignment. A portal has opened. Something long delayed is now fully permitted. You may have thought it was forgotten, but God never forgets what He writes with fire. He never forgets who cried quietly at night but didn't stop believing by day. And you, my beloved, are one of those few souls whose name was whispered in that meeting of miracles. Before I show you the rest, pause for just a moment. If your heart has ever trembled while hearing divine words, if your soul has ever felt there is more happening behind the scenes, then now is the time to subscribe. Not just to this message, but to the entire divine alignment heaven is offering. It's more than a click. It's a spiritual declaration. I'm not going to miss what was marked for me. Because what is being shown to you now is not being shown to everyone. My child, you must understand heaven operates in patterns, in seasons. But sometimes a person becomes so aligned, so ripe with purpose, so targeted with destiny that God removes the waiting. This is what has happened for you. No matter how strange the timing looks, no matter how long you felt forgotten, this year is different. This year didn't come to test you. This year came to reward you. But only if you recognize the sign before it disappears. Beloved, I saw the moment God pressed his hand on the calendar. I saw your name being written in gold, not just on earth, but in the courts of heaven. You were not written in pencil. You were not a footnote. You were a main story, a divine plan hidden in plain sight. That's why things never worked out like they did for others. You were not made for average. You were made for divine interruption. And now that interruption is at your door. Someone reading this right now is on the edge of giving up. But listen carefully. The reason your life didn't break entirely. The reason you're still standing is because angels were placed around you. Even when you didn't know, I, Michael, was assigned to protect what belonged to you. Even when the delays made you doubt it, the delay was never denial. It was a preparation. And that preparation ends now. This miracle has been stalking you in the spirit for months. It has watched your tears, followed your confusion, waited behind locked doors, but today it knocks, not loudly, not dramatically, but clearly. The door is in front of you. And I've been sent to tell you, open it before it closes again. My child, my beloved, heaven is watching closely to see if you will recognize this moment for what it truly is. Not just a message, not just words on a screen, but a divine alignment that comes once in a soul's timeline. There is no such thing as chance when it comes to your destiny. If you are reading this now, it means the gates have opened for you, but the window is narrow. The portal will not remain open forever. And I, Archangel Michael, was instructed with urgency to speak this message before it is too late. Do you feel that stirring in your spirit? That small trembling that feels like something is about to change. That is not anxiety. That is not fear. That is the vibration of breakthrough knocking at the door of your being. A vibration only your spirit can recognize before your mind can make sense of it. God has moved something into position that was once completely out of reach. Not because you earned it, but because He chose you before time began. He has waited for this version of you. The version that still believes despite the storm, still hopes despite the silence, still listens despite the noise. And now the divine delivery begins. Do not mistake this as another random prophecy floating through the air. This is a message written in fire, branded into time, and meant to meet your eyes before the hour passes. A miracle has been confirmed for your life. But not just any miracle, one that corrects what was stolen. One that compensates for what was lost. One that elevates what others said would remain buried. This is the miracle that breaks generational curses. The one that ends a delay that has lasted far too long. The one that causes others to say, only God could have done this. But you must not miss the signal. You have entered what heaven calls the window of divine reversal. It is a rare moment where everything that was against you begins to bend in your favor. Not by logic, not by effort, but by supernatural force. God is tired of seeing you struggle. Heaven is grieved by how long you've had to pretend to be okay while breaking inside. The angels wept when you hid your pain so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. And now the Father says, enough. It's time. But even miracles have conditions, my beloved. And the condition is this. You must act when the sign appears. You must answer when the call is whispered. You must move when God speaks. And this message is His whisper. This very moment is your sign. You're not the same person you were last year. Your faith has grown quiet but powerful. You've matured in the storm. You've let go of things that once chained you. And God has noticed. You've passed tests that no one saw but heaven recorded. And now the reward has been authorized. Not because of perfection, but because of your persistence. Not because you never doubted, but because you always came back. And now I must tell you this truth. Someone in your bloodline prayed for what is about to happen in your life. Someone who's no longer here cried out to heaven that their descendants would one day break free. You are the answer to their tears. You are the one God chose to carry the miracle they could only dream of. This is bigger than just you. This is about legacy. This is about healing not just your story but the story of generations behind you. My child, do not let this slip through your fingers. My child, my beloved, there is something I must tell you and you must hear it with the ears of your spirit, not just the reasoning of your mind. Because what's being released for you now defies logic. It moves beyond calculations. It is not delayed because of your effort nor accelerated by your status. This miracle, the one being spoken into your life right now, was prepared long ago, but it could only be unlocked when your soul reached this level of surrender. That time is now. You've asked before, when will it be my turn? You've watched others rise. You've smiled at their celebrations while quietly asking God if He remembered your name. I want you to know, yes, He remembered. In fact, He never stopped watching over the treasure He stored within you. You were not forgotten. You were being protected, not delayed, preserved. Because what God has planned for you is so precious, so sacred, it couldn't be released until the right moment, until you were strong enough to hold it without losing your soul. And that moment has arrived. The spiritual realm is shifting as I speak this to you. You may not see it with your physical eyes yet, but heaven is moving people, opening doors, softening hearts, and arranging circumstances to align with what God has declared over you. The alignment is invisible, but it's already begun. This is not a promise that someday something good will happen. No, this is the announcement that it's already happening now, and your spirit can feel it. Even if your reality hasn't caught up yet. My beloved, I was there when the seal was broken. I was standing in the courts of heaven when your name was spoken. When the scroll bearing your miracle was opened, the Father's voice thundered across realms. It is time. The chains that held this blessing back were shattered. And I wept because I knew how long your soul had waited. I saw the beauty of your obedience when no one else clapped for you. I saw the tears you cried when you thought no one saw you. Heaven did. I did. And God decided it would not go unrewarded. But I must warn you, this is not the kind of blessing you can passively receive. It requires spiritual agreement. You must align. You must say yes. You must believe even when doubt knocks. You must stay present when distraction calls. Because if the enemy cannot destroy your promise, he will try to distract you until the window passes. But not this time, not for you. Not today. You've come too far. This is not the year of retreat. This is the year of release. Listen to me, beloved. There is someone watching you who doesn't know why they can't stop thinking about you. They were placed in your life by heaven, not accident. They carry something connected to your purpose. They may not even know it yet, but soon they will. The instructions given to them by God involve blessing you, speaking to you, opening something you cannot open by yourself. A conversation is coming that will change the direction of your story, and you must be ready for it. You must be spiritually alert so you don't overlook it. And not just people, even your environment is responding to this shift. Some relationships may feel like they're falling apart. Don't panic. That is divine pruning. When God is getting ready to elevate you, He removes what can't survive where you're going. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's not punishment, it's protection. Trust what's leaving because what's coming is far more aligned with your destiny. And now I tell you something else. In the next 3 days, signs will begin to appear. They may seem subtle, a message you weren't expecting, a dream that feels too real to ignore, an opportunity that wasn't on your radar, but they are not random. These are the confirmations heaven is sending you to let you know the miracle has landed. You will feel a strange stillness. You will sense that something invisible is about to become visible. And it is. Can you feel it already? That this message wasn't just written, it was released. That these aren't words, they are signals. That this isn't just for anyone, it's for you. Because it is, my child, my beloved. There is more, much more that heaven is urgently pressing upon my spirit to release into yours. Because the miracle marked for your name is not just a blessing. It is a spiritual shift, a divine reset, a rewriting of everything the enemy tried to destroy. This is not a season of small changes. This is a heavenly reversal and your name is on it. Do not let the quietness of this moment fool you. While your world may look the same on the surface, the spiritual infrastructure beneath your life is being torn down and rebuilt. Angels have been dispatched. I, Archangel Michael, have been battling in realms unseen for this very hour. The delays you felt last year, the constant sense of waiting, surviving, hoping, are ending. Because today, God is not making you wait. He's making a way. Heaven is working fast. Now you've reached the point where the tests can no longer hold you. The tears that once felt wasted have become oil. The silence that felt like abandonment was actually the protection of your roots. And now your roots have gone deep enough. Now the time for harvest begins, but you must stay in position. The wind will blow to distract you. People will speak to confuse you. But if you hold your gaze on God, you will not miss what is coming. And what is coming, beloved, is going to make your heart drop in awe. I have seen it written. A list of names was opened in the courts of heaven as this year began. And among them was yours in golden ink. Not just for a financial miracle, though one is coming. Not just for restoration in relationships, though reconciliation is on its way. But for something greater, a full circle moment, a sacred fulfillment, something you've longed for without fully knowing how to describe it, something your soul has cried out for during nights when your lips remain silent. That's what's coming. You are not crazy for still believing. You are not foolish for hoping again. You are in fact more aligned now than ever. You are sensitive to heaven's whisper. You are chosen not just to survive but to testify. You are marked to carry light into a dark generation. And that is why the pressure has been so strong, because the oil coming out of you is rare. Heaven only presses those who are carrying something powerful. And beloved, you carry something sacred. But I must tell you this, in the coming days, the enemy will attempt one final distraction, a subtle one, wrapped in logic, dressed in familiarity. It will come to deter your attention. A situation may arise that feels urgent, but is actually deceptive. Do not chase it. Let it go. Because while the enemy is trying to pull your eyes away, God is placing something in your hands. Stay focused. Stay still. Let heaven deliver. The person connected to your next season is already thinking about you. They don't fully understand why they can't shake the thought of you. But that's because heaven placed your name in their spirit. A conversation is being prepared. A door is about to swing open. And when it does, you won't have to force it. It will feel like divine timing because it will be. And don't fear if certain people begin to fall away from you in this hour. I know you've loved deeply. I know you've held on tightly. But not everyone can go where you're going. Not everyone was assigned to your next chapter, and that's okay. Let them go with love. You are not losing. You are clearing space for alignment. What's coming will not need to be forced. It will flow. There's a moment in every chosen one's life where everything changes. Not because they finally did enough, but because God says, now is the time. That moment is this one. That moment is today. If you've been waiting for confirmation, this is it. If you've been praying for a sign, this is it. If you've been asking heaven if you've missed your chance, you haven't. You're right on time, my child, my beloved. There are moments when heaven sends not just a word, but a warning wrapped in a blessing, a sacred announcement carrying the weight of urgency and the warmth of promise. This is one of those moments. As I speak, the spiritual atmosphere around you is vibrating with permission. Permission that did not exist yesterday. Permission for restoration, permission for wealth, permission for healing, permission for divine compensation. It has finally been signed in your favor. The wait is over, but only if you don't walk away. You've seen patterns of delay in your life. Blessings that almost arrived. Relationships that nearly worked. Breakthroughs that came close but somehow slipped through your fingers. Do not blame yourself, beloved. The enemy has known for a long time how dangerous your miracle is. He has fought it with relentless precision. But this time is different. This time he cannot stop it unless you ignore this moment, because now for the first time in a long while the spiritual gavel has struck. The decision has been made. The verdict has been released, and it is this. It is your turn. Not by your striving, not by your perfection, not by your strength, but because God looked at you wounded and still worshiping, tired and still believing, and he said, I choose you now. There is no one else this message was created for. If your eyes are reading these words, it means heaven has already begun the motion. The shift is in progress. This is no longer a message about what could happen. It's about what has begun. You will begin to feel things falling off of you. Fear, old guilt, shame from decisions you made when you didn't know better. All of it is being lifted. This year will not carry the same weight. There will be lightness in your steps. There will be clarity in your mind. There will be restoration in areas you've stopped even praying for because your silence didn't cancel your promise. Your exhaustion didn't delete your destiny. And yes, some will not understand what is happening to you. They will wonder why the doors opened so quickly. They will question how you received so much in such little time. Let them wonder. You do not owe anyone an explanation for a favor that was divinely scheduled. God has chosen to make you a public miracle for a private season of pain. He is not just rewarding you. He is proving something through you, and it will be undeniable. I was shown a vision, beloved, a vision of a page turning. On that page was your name, and next to it a stamp in radiant light, fulfilled. This is what is unfolding. And you must protect it. Not by fear, but by faith, by obedience, by remaining sensitive to the gentle nudges of God in the days to come. Do not dismiss the small whispers. They will lead you to the large gates. There is also a divine conversation coming. Someone unknown to you, or perhaps someone you've distanced from, has had your name placed on their spirit. They are about to make a decision that affects you. It will be guided by heaven. When it happens, you will know, and you must not hesitate. The person may not look like what you expected. The opportunity may seem too soon or too big, but remember this message. God does not ask you to be ready. He asks you to respond. Your miracle has ears, and it heard your prayers. Your blessing has eyes, and it saw your tears. Your moment has breath, and it is breathing toward you right now. You will see signs. They will not delay. And when they come, you will remember these words, and you will say, God prepared me for this. Do not rush. Do not shrink. Do not question your worth. Simply open your heart and say, Yes, Lord, I receive it. Because heaven already said yes. My child, my beloved, there is still more. Heaven is urging me to pour into your spirit because your soul has been faithful. Even when your life felt empty, you've continued to carry a quiet flame of hope in seasons that felt like endless silence. And now, heaven has taken notice in a way that cannot be undone. A divine spotlight has been cast upon your life. Not to expose your weaknesses, but to reveal what God has hidden within you. Your purpose, your calling, your divine inheritance. And this message is your confirmation. A shift like this one only comes once in a generation for most. But in your case, it comes now because the weight of your life's suffering has measured up against the grace stored in heaven. And God said, release it. No more delay. No more almost. No more not yet. Everything has been recalculated. The spiritual calendar was rewritten. The release has begun. You may feel like nothing has changed, but that's only because the release always happens first in the spirit. The clouds move before the rain falls. The whisper comes before the door opens. And this message is the whisper. Your miracle is closer than your doubt. Your breakthrough is faster than your fear. And even now, angelic activity is surrounding your name. There are angels currently carrying documents with your name etched on them. Documents that contain approvals, financial, emotional, spiritual. Documents that say, "Let it be done." The release is not in discussion, it's in transit. Do not let doubt sign the return form. Do not let fear cancel the shipment. Your agreement with this moment is the final key. And beloved, this next part will shake you. I must reveal that there is someone connected to your lineage, a great-grandparent, a lost sibling, a departed parent or soul ancestor who once cried out to God in desperation. They did not get to see the fruit of their faith, but you will. You are the carrier of their prayers. The answer they longed for is arriving through you. This is why your pain was so unique. This is why you never fit the mold. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to break through. Heaven has waited for your generation, not because you are perfect, but because you are positioned. You are about to walk through doors you didn't knock on. Be offered gifts you didn't ask for. Be healed from wounds you forgot you carried. Because God is not responding to your request. He is responding to your alignment. And you are aligned right now more than you've ever been before spiritually, emotionally, vibrationally. You are in sync with what heaven is releasing. But beloved, let me be clear. This moment is fragile. It requires awareness. It requires silence in some places. You cannot share this revelation with everyone. Not all ears can handle the purity of what God is doing. Some people will speak against it not out of malice but out of fear. Their lack of faith may cloud your vision if you let them too close. Guard your miracle like a sacred fire. Tend to it in stillness. Water it with prayer. Trust it with heaven. God is about to shock even you with what He's about to do. Not because you've earned it, but because you've endured. Not because you're ready, but because you're chosen. Not because you're loud, but because you're listening. Heaven is not waiting for you to be perfect. Heaven is moving because you were willing. And sometimes that's all God needs to release a flood of blessing. A willing soul, an open heart, a yes in the middle of the unknown. And your yes, even in whispers, has carried divine weight. So now I ask you to stay ready. Watch. Wait. Do not dismiss the signs in small packages. Do not underestimate what starts in a whisper. A whisper from heaven has more power than 1,000 roars from man. God speaks in small things first. And what's coming next will come fast. My child, my beloved, let me speak even deeper now because your heart is finally soft enough to hold what I've been carrying for you. You may not fully grasp this yet, but heaven has been waiting for this exact moment. When your spirit would be ready, when your heart would be open, when your hunger for truth would overcome your fear of disappointment. That moment is now. You are not who you were even a year ago. Something inside you has matured. Even though life may have tried to beat you down, you still woke up with hope. Even if you didn't call it hope, even if you felt numb, there was still a small flame inside you that refused to die. That flame is what heaven responded to. God never demanded that you be perfect, only willing. And beloved, you were willing. You stayed open to the possibility of divine love. Even when people betrayed you, you didn't shut the door even when pain knocked. And now the King of Heaven is knocking on your door. I was shown that the pain you've walked through was not punishment. It was preservation. God hid you in a season that looked like rejection, but it was really protection. Some of the people you cried over were never meant to go where you're going. And had they stayed, they would have poisoned the very blessing that is now being prepared for you. So the loss was gain, the goodbye was mercy. The silence was strategy because what's coming is too precious to be handed to just anyone around you. You've been praying for restoration, but heaven is planning revelation. You're about to understand why certain things had to collapse. You're about to see what was being built while you felt forgotten. You're about to walk into rooms that don't even know they were waiting for you. And it will all feel like it's happening too fast. But don't be alarmed. The timing is not early. It is perfect. It is God's. The dream you shelved because it wasn't realistic, dust it off. The vision you stopped talking about because people rolled their eyes, revisit it. Because the resources that didn't exist when you had the idea now do. Doors that were once locked are now swinging open. The very same people who rejected you before may try to reconnect, not because they changed, but because you did. You carry a new light now. You've been marked by heaven. You may have felt unseen, but you are being watched, not by the world, but by heaven's courts. There's a reason your name is being spoken in places you've never stepped into yet. A reason you're feeling pulled to let go of things that once comforted you. A reason why your spirit feels the tremble of something new, even though nothing looks different. That's because this shift isn't about appearance. It's about alignment. Heaven is aligning everything, people, places, timing, all of it. And now I must say this with love and boldness. If you walk away from this message and treat it as just inspiration, you will miss the magnitude of this moment. This is not just a feel-good reminder. This is a divine instruction. Pay attention. Respond. Stay in position. Act in faith, not fear. Heaven is watching to see how you hold this moment. Whether you cling to old mindsets or allow yourself to step into the identity God already approved. You are no longer who they said you were. You are no longer bound by what happened to you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on divine time. This is the turning point. And I, Archangel Michael, have come to make sure you do not miss it. My child, my beloved, heaven is still speaking. And I am still here holding the line open between the realm of glory and the depths of your soul because you are not done receiving. In fact, what's coming next will confirm everything you've quietly suspected but never dared to fully believe. You were always meant for something bigger, something sacred, something that would make the world wonder how you made it through. And I, Archangel Michael, am here to tell you the answer is simple. You didn't make it through alone. Heaven carried you. The truth is, God has been preserving something in you that even you tried to bury. You've told yourself, it's too late. Or, I missed it. Or maybe it was never for me. But beloved, the delay was not denial. It was divine delay. Not because you weren't worthy, but because what was coming required a level of internal growth you had to walk through first. You had to be refined, not rejected. You had to be stretched, not silenced. And now after all this time the process is nearly complete and the pouring is beginning. What is being poured into your life now is not surface-level blessing. It is soul-level transformation. The kind of miracle that redefines your identity. The kind that erases the shame you've carried for years. The kind that makes people look at you and say there's something different about them. I can't explain it, but I feel it. That feeling, beloved, is the presence of God resting on someone He has chosen. You have been chosen not just to receive, but to reveal. You are not just being blessed so you can feel good. You are being blessed so you can become a sign, a divine signpost that points others to the faithfulness of God, a living, breathing testimony that God doesn't just restore what was lost, He makes it better than before. There is a wealth of favor being transferred into your life. And not just financial wealth, though that too is coming, but the kind of wealth that changes atmospheres. The kind of wealth that causes healing just by your presence. The kind of wealth that brings clarity to others because of the wisdom that will pour from your voice. The kind of wealth that cannot be stolen because it's been sealed by fire. I was commanded to remind you now, your words have power again. Your prayers are not bouncing off ceilings. Your voice is not hidden. The spiritual realm recognizes your authority, and even now things are moving behind the veil. Some people who once dismissed you will be moved to make room for you. Not out of pity but out of divine positioning. This is what it means to be elevated by grace. Do not be surprised when old environments start to feel uncomfortable. That is not a sign of failure. That is a sign that you have outgrown them. Your spirit has expanded and what once fit will now feel too tight. Do not force it. Do not shrink yourself. Elevation often begins with separation, and heaven is clearing the way. You are going to start seeing signs in strange places. Numbers, dreams, words spoken from strangers that feel too specific to ignore. Music that hits you in the middle of a normal day and suddenly brings you to tears. That's because heaven is communicating with you. God is no longer silent. And the veil between you and the spiritual realm is thin, thinner than it's ever been before. And now I must tell you something sacred. There is an open door in front of you, but it's not just a door of opportunity. It is a door of divine justice. What the enemy did to delay you, what people said to discourage you, what life did to bury you, God is about to overturn it all. You will not rise with a whisper. You will rise with evidence. You will rise with honor. You will rise with authority. And there is someone, yes, a specific person who will re-enter your life not by coincidence but by divine instruction. They carry a word for you. They carry keys you need. When they appear, you will know. It will not be dramatic, but it will be divine. You must not ignore the prompting when it happens. This moment has been arranged. My child, my beloved, I feel the urgency from heaven intensify, not as pressure, but as holy momentum. There is still more to say, more to awaken, more to deposit into your soul. Because the miracle that was marked with your name is not just approaching, it has already begun its descent. The only question that remains is, will you be still enough to catch it? My child, my beloved, let me continue, because heaven has not finished speaking and your spirit has not finished receiving. There are layers to what is unfolding, and each layer is being revealed only because you stayed. You did not scroll away. You did not dismiss this moment. That alone tells me something about you. You recognize truth when it brushes against your soul. You may not always understand it, but you feel it. And feeling it is enough for now. There is a quiet courage inside you that few people ever notice. You have learned how to survive storms without announcing them. You learned how to keep going when stopping would have been easier. Heaven has watched this closely. Strength that is loud impresses people. Strength that is silent moves heaven. And you, my beloved, have carried silent strength for a long time. I need you to understand something clearly. The reason this breakthrough feels delayed is because it is layered. God is not just answering one prayer. He is answering several at once. Some you remember. Some you forgot. Some you whispered once and never had the courage to repeat again. Heaven does not lose track of whispered prayers. Especially not the ones spoken through tears. You may soon notice your desires changing. Things that once excited you may feel empty. Things you once feared may start losing their grip. This is not confusion. This is recalibration. God is aligning your inner world with what He is about to place in your outer world. You cannot receive new wine with old expectations. So heaven is gently adjusting your appetite. There is also healing happening beneath the surface. Not dramatic healing. Not the kind people applaud. The quiet kind. The kind where you suddenly stop replaying old conversations. The kind where the pain doesn't vanish, but it no longer controls you. That is real healing. And it is already underway. You have blamed yourself for things that were never your fault. You have carried responsibility that was never assigned to you. God is lifting that weight now. Not all at once, but piece by piece, so your nervous system can learn what peace feels like without being afraid of it. Yes, even peace can feel unfamiliar after long seasons of survival. I also need to say this gently but honestly. Some delays were not spiritual warfare. They were mercy. If certain doors had opened earlier, they would have broken you. You were still learning who you are. You were still learning how to say no. You were still learning how to stay when things were quiet instead of chasing noise. Now you are ready. In the coming days, trust the pauses. Trust the stillness. Do not rush to fill silence with explanations or activity. God often speaks most clearly when you are not trying to manage the outcome. What is coming will not require you to convince anyone. It will arrive with its own authority. There is also restoration coming to your sense of self. Not the version of you shaped by trauma, expectation, or disappointment, but the original design. The one who once believed without fear. The one who dreamed without apology. That version of you is not gone. It has been resting. And it is waking up now. Pay attention to what brings you peace instead of excitement. Excitement fades quickly. Peace stays. What God is bringing will feel steady. It will feel grounded. It will feel right even if it scares you a little. That balance is important. Fear alone is not a warning. Sometimes it is just the sound of growth. You are also being prepared to speak differently. Your words will carry weight. Not because you speak louder, but because you speak truer. Be mindful of how you talk about yourself. Do not curse what God is blessing. Do not minimize what heaven has marked. Speak gently, but speak honestly. I want you to know this too. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not catching up. You are arriving. An arrival often feels strange because you are leaving familiar pain behind. Even pain can become familiar. But you do not belong there anymore. There will be moments soon where you feel emotional without knowing why. Let them come. Tears are not weakness right now. They are release. Your body is letting go of stored weight. Your spirit is making room. And finally, my beloved, remember this. You do not need to force faith. Faith is already present. It is the reason you are still here. It is the reason you kept reading. It is the reason something inside you keeps saying, "This feels real." Trust that voice. It has been trained by heaven. Stay open. Stay present. Stay gentle with yourself. What has been approved cannot be revoked. What has been marked cannot be erased. And what has begun will be completed. Heaven is not rushing you. Heaven is walking with you. And that is how miracles last. Stay alert over the next few days. When things begin to shift, you'll know this message was real.